Welcome to our house, Church Unusual, where we say namaste. I see God in you, you see God in me, and we want you to come back to stay. Good morning. Welcome to our house. Hey, Church Unusual, where we say namaste. I see God in you, you see God in me, and we hope you come back to stay. Hallelujah. Oh, Grand Rising, good morning. God, niggas. This is Auntie Gina, Church Unusual, where that effervescent laugh came from. Somebody named who? Who's a light-skinned lady behind the curtain? What's your name, miss?
Oh, my name is Anissa Ray, and I came to say good morning. Yeah.
Are you singing, nigga?
Oh, yes. You recognize that, Gina?
They say Jesus turned water into wine, but he turned your wine into a nice little sound, son. That was not bad.
Oh, well, wow. Well, thank you. Coming from you, thank you.
Yeah, just don't do it too much, though. That's
okay.
No, go do your thing. Just don't do that part.
Oh, okay. One more. God.
You sound like your vagina is humming. When
yeah, it is.
That, it sounds like a pussy hum to God.
Yeah, that's what it's doing.
Because you know I'm fucking God. Everybody knows that. Me and God are in a serious relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, God's monogamous to me. What about to you?
Absolutely. We all have our own unique relationship with God. And that is the bond, because you always have a friend. You're never alone, even though you might be sitting in there alone. You're really not.
In this room right now?
No, you're not alone.
I wish I did have a nigga up in here, a God and some dick. Now, God and dick, that's a wonderful combination. But anyway, thank you, Anissa. Don't go nowhere. Ja, good morning, Ja.
Good morning. How you doing today?
Ja, what'd you say, sweetheart?
So how are you doing today?
I'm glad to hear your melodious, sexy voice. I was telling him earlier, if you agree in the chat, if his wife was willing, I think he should do phone sex. I mean, not not for a long period of time, but just to see, nobody has to see your face, Ja.
Yeah, you probably have to be a little more liberal than I am to do it, so I'm cool.
But your voice it sounds like a big dick, your voice. God gave you that for a reason, not just for you.
I appreciate that.
Speaking of voices, I have some people here today that I'm going to introduce later on. A woman named Marium Echo and a brother named Jamaica Ja'Toi. But before I do that, we're going to the throne of grace. If you don't believe in prayer, so I'm talking to God first, because they used to say we want to invite God in. And when I was a kid, I would look at the door and see if somebody's going to come in the door. They meant invite God in spiritually. And then I realized that God is already here because I brought him with me. Or he or she or whatever it is. But there's an energy that makes things impossible possible. There's a power that took the taste out of my mouth of some things that were not good for me, including dirty dicks. I'm going to tell you that. But besides all that, we thank God for just being God. We thank God for this podcast. We thank God for Ja, Anissa, anybody that's listening. We have got to bless those who have families represented here. We give God grace and mercy with those who have a problem with us. We thank you for those people. We pray for our enemies today. We pray for those in high places. We pray for the government. God, do something with these motherfuckers in the name of love. Everybody say
amen.
Everybody say
amen.
Everybody say
amen. 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 Motherfucking man.
I feel like a slave. Get ready to pick some cotton. Woo. Thank you, Anissa. Would you like to do a welcome address, please, Evangelist?
Oh my goodness. Sorry for the slight delay. But what is not delayed is this truly awesome welcome where we actually welcome you as you are. Oh, thank you. Thank you, God, for this moment. Thank you for this podcast, this outlet. Somebody needs to hear today. You are accepted, motherfucker. Now it is Sunday, and we're here right now live on Singing Gina TV on YouTube. This is Church Unusual. We're here every Sunday. We welcome you. We hope you stay. Let's have some fun. Let's praise and dance if we can. You know, they say I don't have any rhythm, but I can dance. So fuck y'all. And welcome in.
Okay. Did you get some dick last night?
I'm fucking God too, girl.
Hey, get your pussy off my God. Only me. How you fucking God and I'm fucking God too? What's that about?
I don't know. We all have our own, relationship with God. So,
which leads to the word of the day.
Oh, what is that?
It's omnipresent.
Omnipresent. Which is God.
So we're going to try to use that word in a sentence during the podcast, during the day. Look at those lips, look just like mine. If your God is omnipresent, that means God is there all the time. That means God walks with you, inside you, through you, in you, everywhere you go. So let's try to use that word today, omnipresent. You know what that means, right, light-skinned lady?
I believe it means always there, everywhere, all the time, sunshine or rhyme.
Are you rhyming, nigga?
No, that was not a rhyme. God is always there. God is omnipresent. I can't spell it, but I can say it, bitch.
You okay? Now, the way to spell words, I'm gonna give you a clue. You have to break it down by syllables, which is phonetics.
Yes, and count it out. Yeah.
Okay, so can you spell it then?
Okay. Omnipresent. OMNIPRESENT. Oh my God. Yay.
Omnipresent. Excuse me?
I just repeated it. You know, when you spell a word, you should say it and then say it after you spell it.
Okay. Ja, I know we said that Jamaica should go, but what are you feeling? Because Marium, who worked last night, Marium Echo, a singer that we have here, she worked last night, and I know she's tired. She hasn't been to sleep.
Yes.
Can we switch them on and have her first, and I can spend a little more time with Jamaica because he doesn't go anywhere. He don't need to go to sleep. That nigga just woke up. What is that too much for us to switch? Because I'm feeling that in my spirit that we need to.
Oh, good.
What do you think, John?
Man, that's fine. You want to bring on? That's fine.
Okay, yes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save Jamaica. Just hold him right there. Hold his dick right there, not right here, but right there. And don't go nowhere, Jamaica. And we're gonna have a conversation with this amazing woman. I'm a fan of hers. I saw her on Instagram from somebody in Houston sent it to me. And I started watching her live. And it would be a couple people watching her on live. And she'd have the microphone down at her titties right all the way. And she has large breasts. So I said, I'm not gay, but I got to watch this nigga. And I would sit there and watch her sing almost a whole set. I would have $2 on, $1 on Cash App maybe. or what do you call them things? Badges.
Yeah.
You know, she's worth so much. All the way from Houston. This is just ordinary people, extraordinary people. Have a conversation with Auntie Gina. I think we're going to do that right now.
Sorry about that.
Ordinary people, extraordinary people. Have a conversation with Gina. Have a conversation with Gina. Experience me. Yeah.
Hi, good morning.
Oh my
Good
God.
morning.
For those who don't know how I am, when I'm a fan of somebody, I kind of stalk them. I go in. And ever since I met you, you're in my story all the time. I watch you all the time. It's a wonder. It's a great thing I'm not gay because I would make you gay. I would stalk you.
Ah,
I know because I'm just that much into you. Really, really, really. And I pride myself on knowing good singers because I'm a fan of some amazing singers. But when I see you sit there without moving a foot or a leg, or you don't move a boot, you don't use nothing but your diaphragm and your lips. So, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Houston, Texas, I give you this amazing woman named Marium Echo. How
Hey,
are you, sweetheart?
everybody. I am great. How are you?
Uh, I want to know a little bit more about you. I know that you are tired from last night.
Yeah, I actually had two shows yesterday back to back, and I normally don't do that, but I am on a savings journey, so as long as my voice is healthy, I'm trying to do as much work as possible to put some money back. That's the things I'm trying to do.
How
So,
many
yeah.
shows have you had this week?
Um, Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Saturday. I was naming them, but I wasn't counting.
I
Sunday,
was.
Monday, uh, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 7.
Yes, you've
Ooh,
had 7
busy.
shows.
Yes,
And you have, how are you sleeping? Let me ask you, how are you sleeping?
I fall asleep. Just like anybody with a day job, you take a couple hours to wind down. I normally fall asleep about 8 in the morning because I try to fellowship with the fellow employees at my venues that I work at for a little while before I go home because
Yeah.
I'm grateful for them employing me. So I try to stick around and put a little money into the bar, into the establishment before I leave, just like anybody else.
Yeah.
So I fall
Yeah.
asleep at about 7 or 8 in the morning, and then I wake up at about 3 and just kind of start over. So it's like I worked a graveyard shift in a sense.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so curious as to, excuse me, as to know the voice, the person behind the voice. So
Okay.
just for a few minutes, if you can tell me who, if somebody were to say, who's Marium Echo? If somebody
I
were to say, who's Marium, who would you say you are?
I am a singer songwriter from Houston, Texas. I am a sister with 3 brothers. I'm 6'1", but I'm the shortest out of all the children, which is crazy. I come from a very colorful and cultured background, even though we grew up in the middle of the hood in South Park. Both of my parents are singer songwriters. They actually met at a legendary club out here called the Red Rooster when my dad moved here from the army, and they got together 3 months later, and it's been 50 years. April 4th. So having two parents that were artists, um, we were allowed to be exposed to a lot of things that a lot of my friends weren't exposed to. So, we actually had a lot of people that hung out with us to do the things that we did. Like, um, it's a big amphitheater in Houston called Miller Outdoor Theater where they do free plays and concerts. So we were doing things like that. So that helped shape my love for the arts at an early age. Started training as a vocalist in first grade at John E. Caldwell Elementary School. Happened to have a great voice teacher there. Started doing improv in middle school at Welch Middle School. Got into show choir and classical music in high school, and then got into jazz studies at Texas Southern University. So it's a layered background, and it's crazy because I didn't want to be a singer. I wanted to be a kindergarten teacher, but you know, I look at God as like my GPS. He's gonna reroute you until you get to
Yes.
your correct lane. I'm not gonna say your correct destination because the most important part is the journey. So when he puts you in your right lane, everything goes a little bit smoother. So I hope that's a good description.
Yes, when you said GPS, I always have a little acronym for that. God's probably saying, and spiritually, I say that
Mm-hmm.
because when I talk to you offline about your experience, usually a voice like yours stems from the church. Usually,
Mm-hmm.
there's a soul, there's an essence that we think comes from slave pain, which means gospel, which is good news. But
Mm-hmm.
what? How did you know that you were supposed to sing? How did you know?
Um, it kept coming back to me. It's
Mm.
like I said, it's something I didn't want to do. Like my parents did not hear me sing a note growing up. They
What?
they didn't even know I sang. It's something that we did as an elective. I have a brother that's a year older than me. He was in choir with me. My baby brother was in choir. He's 3 years younger than me. And they also played in band. So it's just something that we did because it was an easy elective. Because my parents sang to us in the house to help us learn how to read, to sing. They sang to us about safety. It's just that was what our house was filled with. Um, so I did music because, of course, you have to have an elective. Um, my parents didn't hear me sing. My mom heard me sing. You ever heard of Six Flags Astro World before they
Yes.
closed? So
Yeah.
I worked. That was my first job, and they had a recording studio in there where you could do like your own little music video or whatever.
Yeah.
So I did one, and that was the first time my mom ever heard my singing voice outside of being in an ensemble. Because I like singing in the background. I like the color of choral music and ensemble music. I like singing alto in those sections. And she cried. I don't know how she found it because I hid it.
Mm.
But and the second time they heard my voice was when I was probably 24 because I was a late bloomer when it came to college. I started when I was 23. Um, they heard me sing a solo for the first time in a jazz Christmas program. So when I got to TSU, that's when things started to unfold for me and come together. Because a lot of my friends that I met, let me take it back. When I got to TSU, I was a 23-year-old freshman. I had been living on my own since I was 18. The reason why I went to college is because my brother, that's a year older than me, he's a scholar. He went to Prairie View on an academic scholarship and got a double degree in engineering and physics. My mom always wanted me to follow my brother's footsteps. So we went to school together from elementary, middle school, high school. Didn't go to college because, like I said, I moved out when I was 18. Um, but my mom got stricken with breast cancer. So she wanted me, in case something happened to her where she didn't make it, she wanted me to have an extra level of education. So she wanted me to go to school. So that's what I did. That's how I ended up as a 23-year-old freshman. So I got bored sitting in class with people who had never experienced any life. So I went to the music building because keep in mind I hadn't sang since I was in high school. I went to the music building. I was looking for the choir room, and I met this guy named Bert Cross. He said, "Can I help you?" And this is gonna make sense in a minute. I'm trying not to be long winded about it. And I said, "I'm looking for the choir room." He said, "Well, can you read music?" I said, "I sight read." So he brought me into his office. He gave me a composition, and if you play the first note, I didn't take music seriously because remember I didn't want to be a singer. I said, if you play the first note, I can figure out the rest of the composition. So he played it, and I read through like 3 pages worth of music because it's just counting numbers and steps and stuff like that. Um, and I got a partial scholarship right then and there to join the jazz ensemble, the vocal jazz ensemble. So that changed my life because that I met my friends who are still my friends to this day. They were around juniors and seniors when I was coming into school. And one of my friends named James was singing at this legendary jazz spot we had. They just reopened. It's called the Red Cat Jazz Cafe. So I started going there, and another friend of mine named Manira, she was singing there. So I started hanging out with them, and then I found that they do poetry shows in some of these places. So I started hanging out at the poetry shows. being around these people that I'd never, these types of, if being around writers and things like that, they think differently, they discuss things differently. I found that intriguing because, growing up in an artistic community, I miss being around those types of people. So anyway, I did my first open mic at a poetry show, threw up because I was just tired of sitting back and just watching everything. And it was not many people there, but I got to my car and threw up, but then I wanted to do it again. Um, so I started doing open mics, at my friend shows and at these poetry shows. And what made me start taking it seriously and say, I need to do this. I had met a guy and we had a very short-lived relationship. We decided to become a couple on a Wednesday. And I remember getting a call that Sunday that he had gotten killed. Um, Somebody shot him. And the only thing that could keep me from crying all the time was going and getting on open mics. And it kind of helped heal a part of me that was just shattered and broken. And through that, I started getting people telling me how much my voice helped them. So it took a long list of me hitting walls, trying to search for something else that I thought that I wanted to do. And it took something very aggressive and heartbreaking for me to know that this is what I'm meant to do to help heal other people's hearts because it healed mine. So that's how I became a singer.
Mm.
That's a heartbreaking but beautiful story.
Yes.
It's such a love story, but
You
it's
got to go
terribly
through it.
sad. But so you've been talking about this voice that some people haven't heard yet,
Mm-hmm.
and since you haven't gone to sleep yet, your voice is still nice and warm. Even though you're tired, your voice is fire. I don't care how tired you are or if you
Thank
just woke
you.
up. Because I've heard you, and you sound the same to me. Once he was on the mic one time, you said, "I'm tired tonight."
Yeah, because
Watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that? That was her. So
as
can
a
you sing
session,
something right now? Can you sing something now, please?
I can.
Please. Can you do a whole song?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm going to do my favorite song. It's a jazz standard called Summertime.
Ladies and
Um,
gentlemen, Marium Echo.
um, Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich and your ma is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, y'all gonna rise up singing. Then you'll spread your wings and take to the sky. And on that morning, you know that nothing can harm you. No, 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 no. When mommy and daddy standing by. Whoa, summertime. I hope that was okay.
Wow. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, God.
This is my morning voice. My friends call my morning voice Marvin. So it's a little rough and rusty,
That's
but
cute.
yeah.
Wow.
I hope that
Ooh,
was
thank you
good.
for just being obedient and listening when you felt it was the right time for you to do what you're doing. Thank you
Yeah,
for sharing your gift with the world. Do you know how much that just fed me?
I feel gay right now. I feel gay.
I do too, Gina.
Oh, you weird ass nigga.
I feel so gay.
and you know what's funny?
No,
People
I'm
tell
just
me that a lot.
joking.
Girls tell me that, and I'm like, I can't help you, but your dad is still with your mama. That's my response to that. But no, I thank you all so much for having me.
Whoa. We're not finished yet. We got
Oh
more to say.
no. I was just
Um,
gonna give you a compliment. I think you are a beautiful spirit. You
me?
actually, yeah, you're actually one of
Oh,
my great Instagram friends. I didn't even realize it until I looked at your picture. But yeah, we correspond quite a bit. So I want to say thank you for your energy always.
Well, when I like somebody, I stalk them.
yeah.
It's just very sick, but it's just love. If I stalk
Right.
you and invade your space, I just love you, nigga. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm learning boundaries. I'm learning. But let me ask you this, and I just do
Mhm.
like a little trivia.
Okay.
It'll be like Mariam trivia. It's just closing-ended questions, yes or no, whatever you want to answer. You don't have to delve into it, because I know
Okay.
when you're tired, it's hard to just give. So sometimes it's better for me to give to you because you've been working all night. Shit.
Thank
Mhm.
you.
Um, how old are you, if you don't mind me saying?
45. My
Okay.
46 is coming up on May 6th.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you.
Ooh,
You're
a
Taurus.
Taurus.
Are you single?
I am.
Do you have children?
Nope.
Um, your favorite color?
Royal blue.
Really?
Mm.
Have you ever been in a fight, physical fight?
I used to fight a lot when I was a child. You
Why?
know, got three brothers,
Mm.
14
Mhm.
uncles.
Mhm.
So, you know,
That
I
makes
wanted to,
sense.
Brothers?
huh?
You fought your brothers?
I fought my brothers and their friends. And baby, I fought. I was not a fair fighter. I scoop up an ant bed and throw it in your face while you talking. But yeah, when I was little, I used to fight a lot.
Wait, hold up, Miss Channel of Blessing.
Yeah, I was a scrappy kid because that was another part of my story. Grew up in this little 3 bedroom house, but me, my brother Raymond, Noah, Jonah, my mom, my dad, and for a extended period of time, we also had my uncle Ray, my uncle Bo, my aunt Faye, her kids, Rachel, LaRonda, Hubert, Herbert, and Yvonne in his 3 bedroom, 1 bathroom house. So, we had to scrap a little bit sometimes. I ain't gonna say you had to. Maybe I liked it a little bit, but I wanted to be like my brothers. So,
That calm demeanor is
Mm.
what you got to be careful about.
oh
That
yeah.
that motherfucker that sits there and don't say nothing. Like when you sing, you
Mm.
you 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 you're a fighter, huh?
I'm a very non-confrontational person. I'm one of those people where you're not talking to me unless you're talking to me. And
Mhm.
unless you're trying to hit me in my face, I let things ride because I know my future is a lot brighter than some other people's who will try to tear me down.
Yeah.
So, like, for instance, I've had people bump me in the club.
Mm.
I say, excuse me, because I have a lot more to lose than some other people because my purpose is bigger than me. It's not just about me. So
Mhm.
I say, you know what? Oh, my bad. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, let sleeping dragons lie.
I got you. Let's go on with the Miriam trivia. Favorite
Okay.
car?
My car that I have now, it is a Kia Soul. I love my little car. Its name is Marshmallow. But if I could have anything, I
Marshmallow.
would have a old school Ford Bronco because I like big metal cars that are easy to
Mhm.
work on. I'm a very practical person, so you know. But I would take a big ass Ford Bronco.
Okay, a food you could eat every day.
Spaghetti.
Mm.
Really?
I love
Favorite
spaghetti.
beverage in the morning?
Um, Actually, it's been that Rise Mushroom Coffee.
I've
It's
seen that advertised.
I
Mushroom.
tried it because I'm not really a coffee drinker, and as I get older, like I'm trying to reset my sleep schedule. It does give you and it's not me, advertising it or whatever. It does give me a clean feel of a boost of energy, but not jittery. It does
Mhm.
clean you out like it says it's gonna do, and makes you feel. As I take it consistently, I feel a little bit more clear headed. So it's been good. I just mix it with some non-dairy, caramel creamer and some oat milk or some almond milk and just put it over ice. Is good. So that's been my favorite beverage. And I love water. I drink a lot of water.
Yeah, water is it. A place you've been to that you never want to go back to.
My ex's house,
Mm.
because he lives there, and he's a person I never want to see. I mean, I don't have a lot of places, but one place that I love very, very, very much, but it's changed so much that I don't see myself going there often anymore is New Orleans. I
Mm.
absolutely love New Orleans, but after Katrina, they kind of turned it into a rich white person's playground. So, the essence is still there, but the city is not the same. Like some of the places I used to eat, they're not there anymore, and it's unfortunate. But love New Orleans, but I don't go often.
A person that you feel you have to meet before you transition.
Stevie motherfucking Wonder.
Hey,
Ooh.
hey, 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 hey,
It
hey.
ain't nobody else.
You don't even know that we're gonna have to
Oh
fight.
my goodness.
I just,
God.
I just, I just want to shake the man hand. And
No, I want to
Oh.
suck his
I
dick.
clip
That's what
off
I
a
want to do.
tip of
I
one
want
of
to
his
fuck him.
locks and put it right in my purse.
I want to fuck him.
Hey, do
I
what
want
you
I
gotta
want him
do.
in me. Huh?
Okay, while he's in you, clip off one of them locks and give it to me. I just need it for a keepsake. I'm gonna put it into. How people turn their family members' ashes into a diamond. I'm gonna turn that lock
Yeah.
into a diamond.
Well, I'm gonna do better. Than I'm gonna swallow something and hold it and put it in a jar and
No,
save
no,
it.
no. Give me the lock. You can keep that. I got that.
What's wrong with Stevie's sperm?
I don't want it.
I want Stevie Wonder's sperm.
You keep that.
Warning. The opinions expressed in this program are those of the presenter in their current state of mind, which they have the right to change at any given moment. The iRant Network and the members of the Ranters Union are not responsible for any claims made. All
Hey, I like that disclaimer. That's cool.
I really meant it though. I'm not
Hey,
joking. I'm not no comedian. I meant that from the bottom of my heart. He has a song from the bottom of my heart. You know that?
I have to listen to it.
I love you. Oh my God. I know every song, even the B songs, the C songs.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the same album with him and his daughter. His daughter sings, "How will I know?" You know that
Okay.
he loves. Have you heard that song?
I've heard that one, I think.
It's on the same album, From the Bottom of My Heart. Oh my God. It's I think it's called For You. The album was the number 4 with the heart.
I'll check it out today.
Oh my God. Listen, please.
Mm.
So a couple more questions, then I'm gonna let you go
Mm-hmm.
take a nap. Um, what in your life you believe is your most prized possession that is about you, that you think is just so amazing about yourself, a prized possession about yourself?
Um, that's a good question. I'm a collector of paintings. I'm a collector of paintings from local artists in Houston. I have a 2-bedroom apartment. I think I have about 45 or 46 original paintings in here.
Mm.
Um, I think that if I had to say anything, it'll be my paintings, my artwork. Because if my house was to catch on fire, I'd open that window and just throw all my paintings out on the yard and save those first. But I'm not really a big sentimental person. I don't hold on to a lot of stuff, and I'm not a big collect. I collect sneakers and paintings. Anything else, I kind of let go. I don't even look at Facebook memories. So, and I have a collection of pictures. My dad took thousands of pictures of us growing up. So I have a bag of pictures in the safe with some other stuff and my guns. I
Oh,
love my
okay. I'm
guns.
glad you added that part.
Yeah,
um
Texas. So,
yes. uh you hit on something I'm going to ask you.
mhm.
When you mentioned about the paintings, do you paint?
I used to be a lot more creative as a child. I do it for to kind of de-stress. I paint. I have like adult coloring books, you know, the really intricate ones. So I have some of those, and I'll just sit outside on my porch and turn on some music, light an incense, and I'll paint. I'll get some stuff like Five Below. I'm not as into it as I used to be as a kid, but I'm trying to challenge myself to reconnect to the things that brought me joy when I was younger. So I don't do it as much as I want to, but I'm picking it back up.
So you've never had another job besides singing after you realized you was going to sing? You never done anything else?
Well, I was a pharmacy tech for 20 years
Oh,
at
okay.
CVS. It was I started at Eckerd when it was Eckerd. Then they bought out CVS bought out Eckerd here, and I think CVS Rite Aid bought out Eckerd on the I think the East Coast. Y'all have Rite Aid there? Rite Aid.
I'm in Phoenix right now.
Okay. So that's what I did for a long time. It's something I just kind of fell into. I was working in the as a clerk in the front, and the pharmacist was real cool. I was like 19, and she was like, "If you take this little test, I'll give you, $3 extra raise, per hour." Took the test, passed, and eventually got nationally certified. But when I was going to school and doing my little open mic stuff, I was still working in the pharmacy. I did pharmacy and full time singing for 15 years. And I looked up one day, and I had a boss that I really couldn't stand. She gave me like a level 4 write up. She wanted me to go. I was happy to leave. I gave them a 30-day notice, and my last day working in the pharmacy was July 31st, 2019, right before COVID. But I had saved up about $12,000, and realized that music had been paying my bills for about 3 years, so I didn't need the job anymore. So it was a easy and kind of clear transition. So yeah, that was my last time working a day job.
I'm so grateful that you took a chance on yourself. Let me
Thank
ask you
you.
this. You mentioned sneakers.
Hmm.
What's your favorite sneaker right now?
The Jordan 13s.
How many pair of sneakers do you have?
Um, I used to have a lot, but probably have about 40 now. I donated a lot of shoes recently. I'm downsizing because I am in the process of trying to find me a small plot of land and finally bring my tiny house dreams to fruition. And I know I can't have all this stuff in here, so I've kind of I'm gonna keep about 20 good pair that I just love, like some collector stuff that you can't really get, and the resale value is real high. But the rest of them, I'm probably just gonna finish donating to these kids at this high school. So
Wait, did you say kids? Fuck them kids. What size sneaker you wear?
I wear a 10 and men. Yeah, it's I have a friend who has I'll send you information. She has a store called Soul Supply where they clean up sneakers and stuff. So we came up with this idea to do a swag drive. Everybody donates gently used stuff. I'm like, no, donate some new stuff. I know all my sneakerhead friends have tons of shoes that they've never worn. So we ended up getting a nice amount of stuff for these kids at this youth program at this school. So it's pretty dope.
But there's some grown people that could use some sneakers, some nice sneakers too.
Yeah,
No, it's a wonderful gesture. Let me not
yeah,
talk about the kids, but
yeah.
every now and then, a parent says, "For real, fuck them kids." Every now and then,
Oh, that's
every
my
now and
motto. That's why I don't have none.
then.
That's why I can donate to them and keep on moving. So,
So I was listening to your live.
hmm.
I think it was 2 o'clock this morning, something, and you were talking about seriously at 2 o'clock this morning. You were talking about because you were after the show, you were amped up a little bit. You were talking about how you've been inspired to get your own shit. You talked about getting some land. You talked about.
Hmm.
So what's next for Miriam?
Um, that is next. Like, I'm still in the process of trying to help my parents remodel their home. Having all those people in the home kind of tore it up a little bit. It still has great bones, but it could use a lot of cosmetic work. Me and my brothers were able to renovate their bathroom from top to bottom last year. They're older, and I didn't want them stepping over a tub, if they could help it. So we got him a nice stand-in shower. It's a very small bathroom, but it's very functional. And my friends did, him and his dad have a construction company. They did a beautiful job. So my main thing right now is making sure that they have the most comfortable living environment that they can have. And however I got to get that done, and I'll get that done. But between me and my brothers, I think we can make that happen. And we're looking for a plot of land in case once they finish getting the house get fixed up, they can either sell it, and get something smaller and just have a better retirement fund for themselves. Whatever they want to do, that's what I'm on right now. So,
It's
You
absolutely.
know, I see so many similarities.
Yep.
I think I'm 20 years older than you, right? And
mhm.
if I thought that way at 40, well, I know I can't go turn back the hands of time, but there are some things I do wish I would have done, because this very same things you want for your parents, I want for my mother.
Yeah,
And even though I'm not priding myself on this, even though there are four of us, my mother's with me. So I'm honored to have the responsibility, but I want more for her, because I'm
yeah,
good. Wherever I can be in a box. If I got a car, I'm good. But my mom's, I want her at 84, 85 this year, to be very comfortable. And I love sneakers, and I love to sing. When we talked or off, I think on my live, somewhere we talked on my live or somewhere. It was your live,
mhm.
and you talked about the voices that you like and things you like to do, and it was such a pleasure connecting with you. And now that I hear how many things we have in common, I'm so honored, really, really. I still feel gay, and I know I'm not. I know you're not. Anissa, I'm not sure about.
And the Stevie Wonder connection is absolutely mind blowing.
Oh
I
my
love that,
God!
Man,
guys. Oh my goodness.
You don't
if you
even
don't
know.
love that man, I think you need to reevaluate your life choices. Like,
Exactly. Exactly.
We both got our arms out. Oh my God! We both got nappy heads. I love it.
mhm.
Mary, I'm gonna let you get some rest. I've been honored. Before you go, there's some Aries who are celebrating your birthday. Can you do happy birthday to the Aries in the house or listening on YouTube? This is for Aries, ladies and gentlemen. Before she goes to take a nice nap, Marium Echo singing happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Aries. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, y'all.
Woo!
Oh my God! Anissa, was that good for you, Anissa?
Yes.
I,
It's not
I,
even
I
my
have to move
birthday,
around.
but
I gotta move
woo!
around.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Mariam. Please take a nice deep sleep and get some rest. And
Yes.
remember, when you
Thank
wake
y'all
up,
so
I'm
much.
posting this everywhere when you wake up.
Okay.
By the time you
Thank you
wake
so
up,
much. It was
Thank you,
lovely being
Mariam.
on here. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for having me.
where can people find you
Oh,
on
you are a
your social
delight.
media page, or where you gonna be soon?
On Instagram, it's under Marium Echo, Mariumecho. You'll see one that says Marium Echo Music. Don't click that one; it's hacked. So just use
Mm.
my main page, and in my bio, I have all of my reoccurring shows. Anytime anything changes, I update it. So all you have to do is look at my page. You can see where I'm performing at. Um, I'm starting my TikTok journey. I got my younger singers that are helping me with that. I help them with, you know, putting set lists and stuff like that together for their shows, and they're helping me with this new algorithm crap. So, so teaching an old dog new tricks, and I appreciate it. So TikTok and Instagram. I use Facebook for my angry rants. So
What
yeah.
angry rants?
Oh, we gotta become friends on Facebook. Facebook is my dumping ground for all my negativity.
What
So
you negative? Where?
look,
On Facebook.
I am a person first. And I am
What
a
is?
Taurus, so there's a little aggressive side in there
I
somewhere.
forgot the Taurus and the
Mhm.
fighter.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
what is your main pet peeve right now going on?
stupidity.
In the form expressed in what form?
Um, the fact that there's so many people who are faking naive about their choices of what they did to our government. You knew what was going to happen. He told you what was going to happen if you voted for him. And now you voted for him and everybody's fucked.
Mhm.
And you can't say you don't know. You were just, I'm not going to get too deep into it because I'm going to probably get myself really pissed off and not be able to sleep. But I'm tired of people claiming to be naive and ignorant of their choices when they know exactly what's going on. Um, so yeah, that's really it. There's
Well,
no
those are my
accountability.
sentiments because I'm mad as hell about it.
Yeah.
I'm talking about mad as a motherfucker. And see, I come from Nixon, Watergate.
Hmm.
See, I'll be 65 this year, so you think Trump was bad, and Trump was a whole different demon. But this Reagan and Nixon, the Watergate shit. Oh, what they did with all those programs, social programs, it's almost cyclical the way things are. The Vietnam War, which never should have happened at all.
Yep.
So you were born in the 80s, right?
79. Yeah.
Yeah, so the Vietnam War was finished. But I'm telling you, when we people were slaughtered for no reason under this our government, it was horrible. The protests were horrible. People were killed in protests because we didn't want the Vietnam War. It was terrible. It was terrible. It was similar to what's happening now.
Yep.
So what I do know is that Trump can't trump God. That's my only salvation. Trump can't trump God. That's the bars, nigga. I'm gonna put it on a t-shirt and sell it.
You can. I
Amen.
think, and people will definitely buy that one.
You think so?
I think so.
I'm coining it. Trump can't trump God. And see, the reason why I didn't want to do it because I don't even want that nigga thinking I'm thinking about him like that. You feel me?
I haven't
But
said his name. I call him
yeah.
Ronald Trump. I do not say that thing's name.
Wait, that thing. Wait.
Just
Ronald what?
Ronald Trump.
Ronald Trump. Okay, Ronald Trump.
And I don't get flagged for saying it either. So, yeah, I call him Ronald Trump. And yeah, I let him be, man. And it was so great is that even though programs are getting slashed, you got so many people starting community gardens. I have guy friends of mine that do youth mentorship programs for kids in the hood. They're teaching, about being a gentleman and what is important about being a scholar. There's so many programs popping up. We're not waiting for people to hand us anything. You know what I'm saying? So just like the Black Panther Party for, the meals program that they had, it's always going to be a grassroots program to take care of our community birthed out of these circumstance. And I'm always thankful for those who do that. So, you know, everybody's role in the movement is different. Everybody not meant to carry a gun, everybody not meant to go to jail, So, but as long as we all do a little bit, we can accomplish a lot.
Yo, those are my sentiments because this is church unusual. I'm going to get a building on the East Coast and the West Coast eventually, where it's going to actually be a church, a community church, a center, a village where feed people daily, clothing, teams, teaching, education, free daycare, free after school. I'm telling you, this is what I'm going to do because I know how to do it. And just like you, I really believe that when they gave us pig's guts, we made chitlins. I would never eat them to this day, but we have taken nothing always and made something. So when the Trump was nominated, yeah, I was pissed off, mad about it. But on a deep spiritual level, that nigga can't fuck with us. We have always survived, no matter what.
The hood ain't never changed. The hood ain't never changed for the better or for the worse. So we are the change that we want to see, and that's it.
And this new generation of young people, which I learned so much from them. My phone, everything, technology, everything. Their hustle, because they believe in several mainstreams of income, which is a hustle. I was raised to believe one job for 20 years and get a pension, that's it. But this generation, they're not taking a lot of shit. They are not.
No.
So I appreciate them. I appreciate them. And I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I'm going to let you go to bed.
I'm over here fading away, child.
Okay,
Oh,
okay,
wow.
go ahead. Go to bed. I love
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
I'm coming to Houston this year. I'm going to see you when I come to Houston.
Okay, make sure you shoot me a message. And I'll make sure you have a table wherever I am. So
go to sleep. Ladies and gentlemen, Marium Echo
Yes.
is going to sleep. Wow. Anissa.
What a treat.
Anissa
Girl,
Remy.
what is God doing? What is going on?
I'm telling you, I am moist as ever right now.
Wow.
And she's not my type. I don't like pussy, but she makes you feel just wonderful.
I love her energy. I love her spirit.
Oh, thank you for that music. She makes you feel just as if, look at her.
Look how relaxed she is on stage.
Okay, you have to put your phone up top because your phone is usually at the bottom of her titties. I'm looking at her titties. So for the straight women, put your phone when you're taping, young lady, when you go live. Because she goes live doing this. Look at that. She don't.
It's like a second home.
Killing.
You can tell this is home to her on the stage. Like with you, Gina. I know. I guess singers are. This is a common feeling, but you can see it.
She's very sexy too. Look how sexy she is.
Yes, she is.
Somebody got to want to fuck her on that stage. I know. Anyway, speaking of fucking on stage, we have a special guest in the house. Mind the stage and don't mind fucking. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from California, an actor, a personality extraordinaire. You know, Flame said, I can't wait to see some of that shit because y'all gonna talk over each other. And no, we're not. Gay men and black women have always been unified in the black church. This is going to be a very anointed conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from his house, our visiting preacher today, our visiting pastor from a church called the Unity Church. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Elder Jamaica Ja'Toi.
This is going to be great. I'm excited.
He looks so straight right there. Don't he look straight? Look at that.
Yes,
picture.
he does.
He looks like I eat pussy, but
oh, I hear the background music.
I think he would be going, now, Gina, you know, I don't fuck with no pussy. If I did, it wouldn't be yours.
I think he's having trouble. Jamaica, just hop out and come right back into the studio. We're gonna take you out, come right back into the studio. Hopefully that clears up whatever's happening right now.
Which gives me a moment to talk about something. I just want to smoke this over. I've been watching several pimps in the motherfucking pulpit. I've been watching these preachers. Talk about close the doors and prophesying. Yo, son, this is why I have to have a building, because I am so I got heat for these niggas. I do. And I'm trying not to get to the place where I think all preachers ain't shit. I'm trying not to go there because I'm a preacher. So I can't believe all preachers ain't shit because I'm part of that demographics. I'm a reacher. I ain't no fucking preacher. I'm a reacher. Call me a reacher, not a preacher. Because that name, it just, when somebody says that something happens to my back, I go, uh-oh, like a dick up my booty. And I like fucking preachers. I do.
Is
But I
that
got
how
heat
you
on right
got so
now.
sanctified?
Excuse me?
Is that how you got so sanctified?
From
Hello.
what?
Jamaica.
Hi. You know who you know who Miriam sound like to me? When I close my eyes, like they do on The Voice, because I didn't want to see her face. She sounds like a combination between Ethel Waters and Alita Adams. She has a beautiful spirit. She really
Yes.
does.
Yes.
I liked her, Gina.
Why,
I did.
thank you. Coming from a gay man, that's a compliment.
Yeah, I liked her a lot.
Hi, Jamaica. How are you?
Me too.
I am fine. I am up. It is Sunday. I am high. And
And I want to say, and even though this is going to be a jovial and apparently lighthearted conversation, because with Jamaica and I've noticed that no conversation is really deep for us. There's no something that's I'm gonna go in deep waters, no, because it's just regular conversation. So I'm honored to be able to sit here and talk to this gentleman who I've watched. I've never met him in person. I'm gonna meet him in person in June, but I've monitored him because he's entertaining to me, appeared to be very honest, and reads people. Now, what I understand about that is that I've noticed that you don't usually read somebody unless they have come for you. I've noticed that. So that gave me more grace because some gay guys just like read people for no reason.
right.
But I've come to respect you. I don't know you that well yet, but I'm honored to get to know you. And this way of doing it, I'm just so grateful you took time
Well,
because you're actually a celebrity. You're a celebrity.
I don't look at myself like that, but I became attracted to you because of your spirit. And one day I did not know you. I was a friend of Flames. I was on your live, and you were talking about your past and what you had been through. And I was watching you hop from like state to state. I said, "This bitch is really living her life. She took her life back."
Yeah.
And when you watch it, to hear a story about it is one thing. But when you actively watch a person say and admit the shit that you have admitted and take your life back, that you can't it's nothing above that. That's beyond blessed.
Well, let me tell you something, Jamaica. Just newsflash is that you are the same kind of person. So, and the only way some people will know that is if I ask you some questions. Can I?
You can ask me anything you want.
Okay. How old are you?
I am oh shit, how high am I?
Yeah.
I'm 57. I'll be 58 September 6th.
And so you're Virgo. Are you single?
Yes.
Do you have children?
Oh no.
Are you gay, straight, pan, sapio?
No, just dick. That's it.
You have a dick or you just like dick?
And I'm not into all that lettuce, gay, bacon, tomato, quinoa, pansexual. I'm inquiring about being it, intersexual. I don't know what the fuck none of that is.
Okay. At what age did you know you were gay? At what age?
As soon as the doctor popped me on my ass.
Really? Really? Seriously?
And when my mama put her titty in my mouth, I bit the shit out of her. I said, "Bitch, you give me some Similac. Get that titty away from me."
What?
Yes.
Or you didn't want breast milk?
I was a hard child to breastfeed. So I was told.
Where were you raised, Jamaica?
And probably because it wasn't my mother's milk. I was born and raised in Venice, California. My mother died in childbirth, having me. And so when they cut the cord, I had life and she had life. And then while they were cleaning her up, I guess the placenta and all the other stuff, she had an aneurysm or a blood clot or something that traveled to her brain really, really quick. And she died like 40 minutes after my birth.
So who raised you? Who did you go to immediately?
I didn't. My father dragged me from house to house. My father was not a no good. He was a no good nigga. He was. My daddy was a no good man. He stole. He lied. He was an alcoholic, but he never left me. But what he would do was he would find these big, unattractive, fat women and play on their self-esteem and walk all over them. And I was the token child where the whole neighborhood knew my story. Oh, don't put him out. You know, he got that little boy, you know, he won't stay out of jail and all that. And there was this woman, and she watched it go on for about 2 years until she, one day, the street lights came on. I was supposed to go into my auntie house, and I couldn't find my auntie's apartment because we had entered in through the back, and I was outside crying. That woman heard me crying and came outside and asked me what was wrong. Where was my daddy? I did not know. I told her my name. She took me in her house. She bathed me. She had 2 other grandkids. She fed me. And the next day when I was outside playing, I had on that other little boy's clothes who was living in her house that was around my age. And she bumped into my aunt. My aunt apologized and said, yeah, that's my nephew. I'll take him, but this is what goes on between him and his father. And I remained playing with her grandkids for 2 years. When she got ready to move to Inglewood, she told my daddy, this little boy ain't growing up like that. So you can sign this. I never went through the adoption process of being in a home. Back then it was just legal guardianship. Here, sign this piece of paper that gives him permission, her permission to take me to the doctor, enroll me in school, do the things that was necessary for me to grow up. And that's how I came up.
Well, let me ask you something. The breast milk, whose breast? You said that it wasn't the whose breast milk was it?
I guess they give it to you at the hospital. I don't know what we talking 1967. So I don't know if it was stored breast milk from somebody else. When you're an infant, you don't remember even sucking on a titty. You don't. You really, really don't. But I had heard stories from my grandmother that I was a hard child to breastfeed. Yeah.
Wow. So what was high school like for you?
Easy breezy. I was the funny person. I never got teased. I never got called a faggot. I look gay. I didn't switch. I didn't act like a girl. I wasn't, hey honey,
Right.
hey girl. I didn't talk like that. I was just a normal kid that you knew wasn't getting no pussy. And I was always fun to be around. So all the girls would hang around me. And all the niggas that want to fuck the bitches that hang around me was nice to me because they was trying to get to them. And I had all the answers to the test. I turned out to be really educated. And then I ended up going to college and made my grandmother proud.
What did you major in college?
I majored in accounting. And then I went for promotion, publicity, and marketing in the field of entertainment.
What about entertainment interested you?
When I went to have lunch with somebody and I walked into the Motown building and I would see these little cubicles and they were set up like offices and they had their family pictures and little cube refrigerators under their desk and candy dishes, and they were dressed casually. It wasn't suit and tie. I said, oh, this is the kind of shit I'm into. I ain't got to dress up. I can come to work with tennis shoes on and handle it. And they was playing music. It was free CDs. It was so much free shit. And that was my first job.
Wow.
Motown Records.
And after that, what did you do?
I left there and went to Capitol.
And did what at Capitol?
Accounting. And then I learned how to do production accounting.
What is production accounting?
Production accounting is basically if somebody says, I have $1 million and I want this show, you're able to break apart the budget to say, okay, this is for sponsorship, this is for publicity, this is for the radio spots to get her on this show, this is for this is for this. And then the budget is revised, it's resubmitted, it's approved, or it kicks back and say this is not gonna work, you know. I didn't hear you.
I said you're a Virgo, so you like that organization. Virgos love
Yeah,
organization.
yeah.
When did you decide to do some acting?
I never want to do it.
Really?
Never.
Why'd you stumble
Every
into it?
every time I didn't really go into it. Every time I would do something or say something, they'd be like, "Nigga, you need to be on TV. Nigga, you need to be on somebody's show." Because I would just say the most opportune thing. I remember one time I was coming out the store and I was with Shirley Ralph, and we were coming out of CVS. It was me, Shirley Ralph, and Vanessa Bell Calloway. And this woman said, "My God, you have some long, beautiful hair." I said, "Thank you." She said, "Are you mixed?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "With what?" I said, "Bitch, male and female." Just for the shock value. And that tickled the shit out of Shirley Ralph. That tickled her. She had tears in her eyes. Her lashes was coming off. I was like, oh, this is too much. And the first person that put me on TV was Kim Whitley when she had this show called BET O Drama.
What did you play? What was your character?
I was on the couch. I was being interviewed about DL men and what makes men DL, and do I engage in that type of behavior. I was on the show about 3 or 4 times.
Oh, really? And so after that, what did you do after that?
After that, I went to work for Sony, and they had a party. The first celebrity friend of mine was Tina Marie because we both grew up in Venice. So that was my first celebrity friend. The second person that I ever met that was famous that became my friend was Natalie Cole, because she was on Capitol Records label back then, like her daddy. And I went to this party, and you know, when you're accomplished, you know, you got a little money, you dress a certain way. And I always hung around beautiful women. So I took, you know, girls with me, you know, instead of asking a man to be my date. I'm in my 20s. I don't know what it is to take a man into another establishment and how that's gonna be received. And that's why I met John Singleton, and the little circle that we were in, we were laughing, we were talking, and I don't look at your title or who you are as far as respect. And that's not always a good thing, because I would never have said these words had Maya Angelou been sitting there, but Maya Angelou wasn't there. And I said something in the tone of, see, that's why I suck dick by appointment. Don't be calling me at 11:30 talking about I'm around the corner, are you up? Because that's telling me that the other 2 bitches that you planned on fucking wasn't available and I was the third choice. No, I have eaten. My stomach is full of Pepsi. And if I suck your dick, I'm going to throw up on your stomach. And that's just how I talk. And they are like Tashina Arnold and Tisha Campbell. I don't know these people. I do not know these people. I was just invited. I had seen them before and did like this, and that was it. But as the stone kept rolling, I kept going to these functions, and I would bump into John Singleton. And one day, I don't know how he got my number. He called me at work. He said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Who is this?" He said, "John." I said, "John who?" He said, "John, John." I said, "Nigga, I know 19 niggas named John." Click. He called me right back and said, "This is John Singleton." I said, "Oh, well, you better say something." Now, the only thing I knew about John was Boys in the Hood. That's all I knew. And he offered me a position to be his assistant because through the grapevine of Black Hollywood, my name was ringing bells. I was doing production budgets for Debbie Allen for the Dance Academy when she was fucking with Alvin Ailey. And I'm 26, 27 years old, typing 85, 90 words a minute. He was impressed by that. What impressed him the most is I was unfazed by his Hollywood. So I said, "I'll tell you what, John, I'll take this and I'm going to keep it. And if you can allow me to leave my department the way it is now and train more people so that my department can be left in excellent standing, I'll come fuck with you. But I can't just look at you and say, oh, this is a lot of money," and walk off and leave my department in disarray. And I think that is what made he, as a matter of fact, he later vocally told me that was one of the things that struck him about me. Because later on, you know, after 4 or 5 years, you're like, "John, what made you hire me?" I had French tip nails. I had diamonds coming from my ear. I got this ponytail. You know, no heterosexual director that's Black is going to hire no faggot. They're not. He said, "I hired you because of the things I would hear about you and because of your personality, and you don't run your mouth because you are going to see a lot of shit." Mm-hmm. And boy, when I tell you, have I.
So, the role of $40, how did that come about?
He came to me the day before. He didn't tell me what he was doing. He said, "Do you have any clothes at home that make you look like a hairdresser?" And I was like, "How do you think hairdressers dress?" And he said, just bring me an outfit." So that blue leather outfit right there was in my closet. I put it on. He said, "Perfect." He said, "Perfect." So we go in there. I still don't know I'm finna be in the movie. He tell me where to stand. They start putting this high definition makeup under my eyes. I still don't know what I'm doing. And they're measuring me for light and resetting the cameras. And then John walks over and goes, "Did you see what just happened over there?" I said, What? I'm high." He said, I said, "What just happened? I'm high." He said, "Tyrese was selling dresses in the window. Now we're going to shoot it from the other angle. And I want you, when she asks how much and he says $40, I want you to be shocked, like $40. Like, I'm not paying that shit," and talk him down to 35 and then get it from him. And John walked away. Now, in my head, a nigga that don't have no lines, that ain't funny to me. So I tried the first time. I tried the second time. Tyrese came over to me and whispered in my ear. He said, "Jamaica, stop trying to be professional. You be the person that we eat with at catering. Be how you are every morning and follow my lead. When I say this, you say this. When I say this, you say this." And then when I got the hang of it, Gina, I started getting pissed off because you got to remember, I'm on this side of the camera. On the other side of the camera, there's Tyrese, Taraji, Snoop Dogg, Missy Elliott, everybody who is all their friends. And the focus is on me. So every time I would spit out an ad-lib line, they would crack up laughing before I finished. And I was getting mad. I was like, "Would y'all fucking stop?" I was just making up shit. John said, "You can't write for the gays." You can't. You have to tell them what the scene is about and let them put their spin on it. Then after 13 takes of doing it right, he made me do it again and add that pop, that smack at the end. You like this girl, cute, cute. He made me do that. And then after I
A
did
memorable
that,
scene.
me and Monique became friends on the set of Baby Boy, and me and Taraji was already friends. So when she got hair show, we was going for beauty shop. Queen Latifah had already snatched her name. So she did a movie called Hair Show. Everybody's in it. Serena Williams, Debo from Friday, Niecy Nash, me, Monique, Dick Gregory. It's just full of cameos everywhere. I was honored. After that, me and John are flying to Miami to shoot Too Fast, Too Furious. Yeah, with Too Fast, Too Furious. And while we were down there, at the same time, Denzel and Eva Mendes were shooting Out of Time. And at the same time we were down there, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence were down there. Well, I had already known Will because I used to hang out at the different world, backstage and all that from the 90s. I had already knew him. Not for as friends, never had his number, but he knew my name was Jamaica and I worked for John. Some kind of way they threw me in Bad Boys 2. And I said, this is not the life I want to live. Because the more famous people got, I watched them get attacked. I watched them get accused of shit. I watched them use people. I watched them bankrupt people. This was right after MC Hammer lost all his money. The mismanagement of funds, the shit that I would hear at these group sessions with John while y'all tear down Vivica Fox. You are tearing down Alfre Woodard. Like, these white people really, really is like, I don't like Alfre Woodard. Her eyes are too, it looks like she got thyroid disease. It always looks like she about to cry in the scene. I'm like, John said, don't say nothing. Just look at how they get down. And he allowed me to learn. Because most assistants aren't privy to that information of how much a person is getting. But I had that production budget qualification that pushed me over the top, that made me damn near untouchable. And so I moved to Atlanta, kept working for him, doing personal shit. And when I came back, he had an assistant. I didn't have a job. He said, I'll make sure you got money in your pocket. I got a couple of projects. And he came out with Snowfall. And then 4 months later, he died.
How were you affected by his death?
It drained me. It took everything out of me.
Has your health been affected because of that, you think?
No.
So can we talk about your health? Because I know you're an advocate for several demographics.
True.
Can we hear about those passionate causes that you are involved in and how it affects your life?
I'm very passionate about the cause of safe sex because, like Corona, people think that germs just don't exist. Like, we had SARS, we had MRSA, we had the NR111, we had the HIV. Back before, when you were little, they had swine flu and bird flu and polio and shit that just suddenly went away. And I think that's what people thought about HIV, like they think about Corona. I know people that are still getting Corona to this day.
HIV, how has that affected your life?
For right now, I could say it's the biggest blessing I've ever received.
When did you get the information about this gift that you know has changed your life? How old were you? And
May 1st, 1993. So I'm coming up on 32 years in May.
yeah, many of my friends in New York died from the virus.
Mm.
Many of they started taking the ACT, and they started dying.
Yeah, it was toxic. It was making everybody have pretty skin. They were looking like Indians. They were looking like they had relaxers in their hair. And I'm like, well, bitch, I already look like that. So what the fuck am I gonna look like if I ever take that shit? But I never did. I never did. When they told me I had HIV, I ran home. I hugged my grandmother and I told her. And she said, well, what did they say? And I said, like, what? She said, did they say you were gonna die? I said, no. I said, they gave me some medicine. She said, don't take that shit. Don't take it right now. And she said, and she told me about the Tuskegee Airmen syphilis thing. That's why I was telling some black women, black history starts at home. Stop relying on the white man and blaming the white man for systemic racism when a lot of shit that they need to know about their history should be coming from you.
Okay.
And so she asked me who was I gonna tell, and I didn't know. And she said, let me tell you who not to tell. Your Auntie Connie. Your auntie, she said, I'm gonna tell you why not to tell your Auntie Connie. Your Auntie Connie is in love with her best friend Reggie, and Reggie was gay. He used to come over with fur coats on. I was a little boy, but he would have my grandmother laughing, my daddy, my uncle. They just accepted Reggie for what he was. But Reggie also had AIDS and was, smoking crack, and it took him down quick. And so in my grandmother's mind, if she found out that her favorite nephew,
Yeah.
has gotten this, that she's going to lose him. She said, don't ever tell Auntie Connie. I'm telling you that now.
Because in the 90s, when someone was diagnosed, it was a death sentence. I used to sing for almost a funeral almost for about a year, almost every month. Every 2 weeks, I was singing for a homegoing, a burial, a funeral, something.
I think I was mad at us because we ignored it. We ignored it because when we first heard about it, it was Arthur Ashe. Okay, he played tennis. That didn't have nothing to do with us. Okay, then it was the white people in the Bay Area. Then we was hearing it was coming from the monkeys from Africa. And then nobody paid attention to the niggas. The daddy from Brady Bunch died. Rock Hudson died. And he had fucked around and kissed the woman on Dynasty. Remember when they shut down production?
I was getting ready to say, because Sylvester, see, in our community, in my era, because you're 50 what?
Right. So you're exactly right to my point. What I'm saying now, we didn't pay attention until it was us. When Jermaine Stewart, we don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time. No. When he died, and a couple of other ones, Arthur Ashe, the swimmer Greg Louganis, we started paying attention because it was coming to California. We act like California couldn't get it.
Now, in my era, when it became very popular knowing about the virus because of a kid named Ryan White. When he got sick and they found that it was AIDS, heterosexual black women, we didn't think we could get it. First of all, we thought it was some gay niggas and bathing houses, right? That's what we thought. We never thought that the highest population of people would be heterosexual black women between the age of 20 and 40. We didn't think that. And matter of fact, I fucked niggas without a condom. I fucked one guy who had the virus. By the grace of God, I didn't get it because I didn't think I could get it. I said, I ain't fucking no gay niggas. However, that's not true because I did. Anyway, that's another story. What was your lowest point with your illness?
Oh, I've cheated death about 5 times. I had a low white blood cell count that caused me to have a heart attack. I was in a coma for 3 months. Nobody came. Nobody combed my hair. Nobody bathed me. Back then, they would leave your lunch outside the door. And if they did come there to draw blood, bitch, they was in full astronaut suits.
I want to say one thing before you continue. Ronnie Dyson was a family friend our whole life. My mother went to visit him. He had the virus. And my mother went and made them let her go to see him. And it was unclean, the area, unkept. They didn't want to touch him. The people were wearing, you talking about masks. It was, remember that time? It was terrible. The ostracization of people with the virus. It was horrible. Some people didn't want to use the same utensils. The discrimination, it was horrible. It was horrible.
I remember all that. I remember when Magic Johnson came out and said he had it, and Isaiah Thomas made the remark about the sweaty towels and the. I mean, people called shit from that. Later on, they went and shook his hand, but it was kind of, you was getting mad because the white people was getting support from Elton John, Elizabeth Taylor. All these agencies was popping up because these white actors was coming up with this shit that y'all didn't know was gay. There was these leading men, and we had nothing.
That's right.
To this day, I still go to the Magic Johnson Healthcare Foundation downtown LA.
I worked for an agency called Betty Shabazz, 999 Blake Avenue. It's in Brooklyn right now. And it's people who are infected or affected by the virus. And I had to make home visits and provide them resources, monitor them, make sure they were okay. And it would be some landlords, neighbors who would discriminate if the client still lived in the apartment. Oh man, I have seen so much just for a disease that actually it wasn't easy to get. It's not easy to get the virus. It's not an easy disease to get unless you're promiscuous, unless you don't practice safer sex. Now herpes is another motherfucker if you get that.
I remember going to my uncle's house and my uncle whispering to my auntie, I was coming down the hallway, you get that nigga a paper plate. I went through that. You get a nigga a paper plate.
Your health now. How is your health now?
Excellent. I am undetectable. I can't even pass the virus to anyone. I am now 6'1", 197 pounds. I look wonderful. I was also in a dark, dark hole. When I tell you, hell is nice. It's hot, but it's nice. It's decorated very nicely. Because when I tell you I was down there smoking blunts with the devil, I was trying to figure some shit out. My depression was so goddamn dark. I knew I wasn't going to kill myself because God played too many games. If I was to jump off of a building, he would take a cloud and float me over to a lawn patch of grass and lay me right there. And then here I am fucked up because I done tried to kill myself, bitch, and it didn't even work like Fantasia did when she took all them goddamn pills. So I knew I wasn't going to kill myself, but I didn't care if I woke up. I didn't, the nights I would go to sleep and I was sick, I didn't care if I didn't wake up.
Let me ask you this, but before I ask you about that, was it because of loneliness?
You know, when you don't know what your purpose is, you feel like you have fulfilled and conquered everything you were asked to do. I asked my grandmother on her dying bed, did I make you happy? She said, oh my God, yes. So now I'm in my 40s and my 50s and I'm experiencing, bitch, you're alone. You are alone. You like being alone. But bitch, you are alone. where you got to go to your best friend and put him on your advance directive and say, give him the money. Just, I don't want no funeral. I don't go to the church. I don't trust the black church. Fuck them all. Creflo Dollar, Kirk Franklin, Donnie, TD Jakes. Do your thing over there. Let me have my peace of mind over here. I don't want a man preaching over my body who did not know me.
Mm-hmm.
And if you put me in this box that I done paid for, you're not going back to the cemetery to ever put no flowers on the stone. So what is all that for?
Mm-hmm.
Live your life to your fullest. I have the $9.95 Colonial Pen that you see the commercial. I bought 2 tiers. That gave me $11,000. That's enough to cremate me and put me in a nice urn. If you pick up the urn, good. If spread them out, dump me anywhere, or leave the fucking urn there. I'm gone. I am not afraid of death. Now I
What
don't
do you
want to get.
what do you think happens after death?
My grandmother told me that it's not a fairy tale, but it's the way that I would want to look at heaven. It would probably be the opposite of purgatory. Your hell, your heaven and your peace that you leave here with, if you live your life right, not by the book, be kind to others. Don't steal. I never slept with no other woman's man. If I sucked your dick, you didn't mention your wife.
Mhm.
And I ain't never touched a child or stole some money or took nothing that didn't belong to me. So that's the best I can do. And then barter with God when I get there. Like, look, nigga, I see some bitches back there that shouldn't be back there. Come on, Jesus. Come on. I see some bitches back there that's not supposed to be back there. Yeah, so that's just how I'm not scared. I don't want to get shot in my face. I don't want to burn to death. I don't want to drown and nothing like that. But if you can give me a little heart attack or a stroke, if you can lay up on that cross for them days in that heat for my sins, I can give you 12 hours of pain or 6 hours of pain that you put me through before I leave here. Just give me a chance to have one conversation with you. And that conversation is, Lord, take my soul. And the Bible is confusing as fuck. All
Yeah.
I did was loved another gender, my same gender. And if that is one that really irks your asshole, I'm telling you now, nigga, I'm sorry, because in 10 minutes I'm coming to see you. I'll be the one with the ponytail. My conversations with God, I don't play with God. God is not a goddamn toy. When I talk to God, I'll be like, what the fuck is you doing?
Mm-hmm.
This some bullshit.
Yeah.
I be mad as fuck with God. And somebody had to get in my ear and say, bitch, he's using you as an example of strength. Shut the fuck up.
Yep.
Some people die with what you've gone through, and you're here for a definitive reason. I am transfixed sometimes when I start to hear you as a person who is under a certain tutelage, because I know when God speaks, and I hear God speaking through you so many times. I'm honored that you don't care the way it's released. I'm glad you don't try to not be yourself, which is, and I know being flagrant or ostentatious may come with being a flaming queen, all that stuff, but your maturity, your perspective on life, your views are solid. Your tenets and your dogma is real, and I appreciate
Mhm.
that. You said something about homosexuality and religion. This dance that people play. This, do you believe being gay is a sin?
I don't read the Bible and I don't know. I heard it's in there. Nobody has showed it to me. But I mean, the world is full of sin. There's nothing that you can get around it.
Well, what I mean by that,
Like as a child, this is where you get confused. I'm 26 years old and I have a boyfriend, but I'm damned to all hell. This boy fucks this girl out of wedlock, and then you turn around and this little bitch, baptize her in a church that was born out of wedlock, and that's a blessed baby. I didn't understand the logic of the Bible. That made no sense. You're planning a funeral for a gangbanger who killed people for a living. You're about to put a needle in this nigga's arm in jail and electrocute him. And he get last rites. He get a preacher to come up there and pray over his soul. But because I suck dick, I'm going to be in the hottest part of hell.
Yeah, make it make sense.
see,
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be a comedian, but I think the Bible, from what I've read, Jonah and the Whale, Daniel and the Lion's Den. My grandmother had a big Bible they gave her for free when she signed up for her casket, and it was pictorial, and so the pictures were very vivid and beautiful. The parting of the Red Sea, they showed it. But I was like, okay, wait a minute, goddammit. Now, Noah, you mean to tell me you, with no Home Depot in sight, got a hammer, some screws, some nails, and put together this big-ass boat. Then you went and got all these animals. Half of them would have ate your ass on sight, but they followed you calmly on this boat. And you push this big ass boat out in this water, girl.
Then what about the refrigeration system? Where the fish live? Where they stay? But the Bible's metaphorical, I believe. And just for the record, let me just say here, I whatever they want to say, strictly dickly, whatever. I enjoy the essence of a man in my private parts, but I'm LGBTQAITUV pro. That's what I am. And I don't believe homosexuality is a sin. I do not. I believe a sin is if I harm myself and if I harm you. I think stealing from you is a harm. I think lying to you is a sin. I think hurting you, hurting myself, smoking crack to me is a sin because of what it does to me, my body, what it does to my spirit. Shooting dope, those things to me, how I treat myself if I don't honor myself. But who you love, not choose, because I think it's orientation. I think people are born gay. That's what I believe. Not who you love, but whatever you choose to do with your expression of love. I don't think God gives a fuck about that.
I don't either.
I don't. I was raised the other way, I was raised saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. Speaking in tongues as a spirit give utterance. I was raised Church of God in Christ. I didn't wear pants until I was in my 20s. So gay people were faggots, punks, sissies. Lesbians were bulldaggers and dykes.
Oh,
and they were real. I mean, they shopped at men's stores.
One day I came in the house. I'll never forget it. I was 15 in 10th grade. And my grandmother called me Jimmy. My real name is Jamaica James Carter. She said, Jimmy. And I never got in trouble. I was a great kid. So I knew I wasn't in trouble. But even though her voice had some tone, and I said, yes, ma'am. She said, I can't understand your report card. How in the fuck do you get A's and this B and you getting an F and PE? And I know goddamn well I bought the uniform because back then you had to wear the LA Unified School District and you had to go to a specific Sears or whatever to buy it. She said, I paid for those uniforms. Why are you getting an F and PE? And I was looking like, bitch, how you gonna answer this? She said, never mind. I'm going to school with you tomorrow. I said, oh shit. That's the last thing anybody, well, you don't want your kids to meet your grandmother, especially when they don't look a certain way. And my grandmother was known for walking out the house looking any kind of way. So she pulled it together. We went and sent the 10th grade counselor, and I'm sitting there, Auntie Gina, and this bitch goes, "Hi, Miss Benson, what's your name?" She said, "You can call me Sharon." She said, "Sharon," she said, "Listen, baby, I got a pot of beans on and my stories is on, and I got to get back home." I'm not understanding what she finna say. That bitch said, "I need y'all to stop fucking up his GPA by putting an F on his report card. You, I, and everybody else on this campus know he's a faggot. He's not going in no boys' locker room. He don't have no brothers that play football and basketball with him. He likes skateboarding, skates, and coloring and putting vacuum lines in the carpet. He's not going. He's not doing that. He's not doing none of that shit." The first time they threw a football, it hit me in the chest. I said, and in my mind, I was thinking, "Bitch, did you just call me a faggot? We men, you never asked me was I gay." Yes, she did.
You're such a great personality, really.
Yes, she did.
What are you doing now in your life? What's happening? What's up? What are you doing?
I'm extremely busy. I am working with several celebrities: Chelsea Handler, DC Don Curry, Carlos Miller, Nick Cannon, Jess Hilarious, Tabitha Brown with the seasonings, booking celebrity appearances. So when somebody wants somebody, they'll call me and I get my 10% under the table. They can find me if they want to, the IRS. You ain't getting none of my money. I paid you handsomely. The rest is for me. Reparations, bitch.
I understand. Are you in a relationship right now?
No.
You want to be? Do you want to be?
No. The reason why, because I would be unfair to that person. Because when I'm focused on a project, I can't afford to break off and try to maneuver time to make sure that you're okay and you're comfortable and your dick is sucked or your dinner is done or when you're coming home or did I take the now you a grown ass man. I'm not a woman. We both two grown men. I can take the trash out too. You ain't always got to take the trash out, but I'm not gonna be washing your drawers and shit. You 40. You wash and dry the shit in your hamper, or I wash and dry the shit in my hamper.
I love to wash my niggas' underwear. I love it.
I'm not that girl. If you ask me to throw a load in because you ain't got some shit to do, that's fine. I'm not scared that ain't no shit in them. But it's just that's to me, I was always taught that was a woman's personal.
Really? Because I like to smell my man's underwear.
Okay, that's cool.
It's something about, well, yes, something about it. You know what I mean, Innocent?
Now
No.
what I did like
No, I don't.
what I did like was when I did have a boyfriend, he was bigger than me. He was 6'4", 270 pounds, like football player. And sometimes I would get up and I had on my boxer briefs or bikini briefs or whatever, walking through the house, probably home alone. He would take his t-shirts off and throw them in the chair on his side of the bed. And I would sleep in his t-shirts because I used to like the way he smelled. That body wash he used, I used to like that smell. So when he came home, I would have that on. He'd be like, "Stay out of my shirts." No.
Is there a celebrity that you would never ever want to see ever in life again?
He dead already.
Who's that?
Paul Mooney.
What did he do to you?
I just couldn't stand him.
No, what did he do to you?
It's not so much what he did to me, it's the things that I witnessed that he's done.
to other people?
One story in particular. And then plus, I don't like closeted people that just, I don't know, people are too scared to ask. Like, it seemed like some people get a pass for being gay and some people don't. When Frank Ocean came out and said he was gay, they want to take that nigga's CDs out of Target. Clyde Davis said he's gay. No big deal.
When did Clive Davis say he was gay?
He said it on Oprah.
Oh, well, I believe that, but
he's and God bless Whitney and Usher and Aretha and all the other people on this table. They kept his business. But when it comes to black people saying they gay, it's some people get a pass and some people don't. Now we old as fuck finding out that Richard Pryor, out of his own mouth in his autobiography, said that he had a relationship with Marlon Brando. Red Fox and Sir Lady Java.
Yeah, my mother knew. Go ahead.
Yeah, when it's our people, we if it's somebody white, it's like, oh, okay. And lesbianism will always be way more accepted than two men.
Yeah, well, you know, and that's because it's the aesthetics and the visual in the mind. There are people who, in their mind, can visualize smashing vaginas, and some people can't imagine a dick and a booty. That's what people go in their mind. It's a visual thing. They say women look prettier when they're fucking, the body movements to women, but two men, it seems to be disgusting to some people. You know.
Mm. I think black people have a problem with picking and choosing in more than just one area. How much longer are we going to browbeat Chris Brown for a mistake that he made with Rihanna? This crazy bitch is going to fight and spit in my motherfucking face while I'm driving and we both been drinking from a Grammy party. Bitch, I'm finna fuck you up. And I do believe in hitting women. I do. I really do. I don't like wife abuse. That's two different things. That you coming home and can't hold your liquor, or you lost your job and she won't give you no more money and you going upside her head every other day and we looking at black eyes. No, I do not condone that. But if me and you are having a conversation and you get that goddamn heated where you feel the need to spit on me or put your hands on me, girl, I'm going to beat the fuck out of you. And I don't want to hear, man, that's a female. Now, I ain't gonna kick you in the ribs and shit like that. That's not necessary. But you'll think before you put your hands on another man.
I just want to say everything you said. I second that motion. I second that emotion. I'm with that.
Don't put your motherfucking hands on me.
I have one child, a son. He'll be 35. And I taught my son, you don't hit women. But if a bitch spits and you have a right. And he's a Leo, so he tries to avoid all those kind of.
And if you spit on me, I would probably lose it and somebody would have to come get me. Because that's a culture shock right there.
That's a culture shock right there. That's over.
That's a culture shock. Bitch, you got to die or something.
Okay, a couple more questions before we go.
Warning. The opinions expressed in this program are those of the presenter in their current state of mind, which they have the right to change at any given moment. The iRant Network and the members of the Ranters Union are not responsible for any claims made. All opinions and train of thoughts are welcomed here and protected by the First Amendment and the Ranters Union.
I have spit in somebody's mouth before. You never saliva when you're having sex, spit in somebody's mouth. You've done some heinous things with your dick. Please, really? Your dick hasn't been in somebody's booty hole? Oh, but you're the bottom. Oh, well.
Someone spit in my face once when they were
Who?
being, well, it was an ex-boyfriend, and that was the final straw. That is what told me, girl, get away from him. It took that, because I was thirsty and desperate. A fool.
Well, is he still living or have all his limbs?
Yeah, but I don't care about him.
What was your retort? How did you respond?
I rolled up the window and drove the fuck off.
You didn't hit him with the car?
No. It was an upsetting situation, and his sisters were there. It was terrible. I'm going back.
Baby, a nigga spit on me and I'm driving. I'm running into everything he owns. What? Spitting is the ultimate disrespect. It is the ultimate fuck you. It's lower than a punch or a kick. It's either spit or gun. That's the equivalent to me. A spit is like murder. And not because of what could be in the spit, the phlegm, the bacteria, the whatever. It's just taking part of your insides and putting it on my body. That's a violation. That's a violation. Because you know what I mean? Oh, it's a nice little environment. But listen, I was gonna say, Anissa.
Yes.
What's coming up next week?
Oh boy.
What?
Next Sunday, April 20th, 420. She's back at the Comedy in Harlem. Music Loves Comedy with Gina Fletcher and the Love Village. You guys, this show, Easter night, hosted by Mike Troy, comedians Maria Sanchez, Cherry Ann, Trina Be Real. Oh, we have a rapper, Static G is going to be there. Spoken word artist, Ghetto to Glory, aka Radio Rousing, Cedric Mitchell, and of course, Gina Fletcher will be in the house. You guys, tickets are on Eventbrite under Anissa Ray, Comedy in Harlem. You can get to the Eventbrite information on their website as well. Come out, come support, get ready.
That was a nice announcement. Thank you so much. Because we're getting ready to end in a few minutes.
Thank you.
It is almost 2:00.
And you know, it's one other thing that I think is repulsive. And it's just to me. It breaks my heart when I watch a daughter call her mama a bitch in front of my face. I don't give a fuck what that woman did. That is one word I could never call my mama.
Well, I can never call my mother a witch or a bitch or nothing. But I know some mamas who didn't believe their daughters when the daughter said, your boyfriend fucked me. Those are bitches.
Yeah.
Those are bitches, bums, hoes. If your daughter comes to your son and says, Mommy, he touched me, and you say, I don't believe you, fuck you.
I have to be transparent in this moment regarding, one time I did call my mother a bitch under my breath, but my dad overheard it. And he opened my bedroom door real quick and said, what did you say? And I tried to play it off and lie and say, I said witch, but he knew that wasn't the truth. But anyway, that was the one time I was a hard-headed teenager.
What was the consequence?
That's different. We all call our mama bitches behind their back or whisper in our ear. I'm talking about two grown ass women out there arguing. I don't give a fuck about you, bitch. And you be like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, I just talked to, oh my God, my mother can attest to this. There's a young girl, we're in the projects, right? So a young girl who was cursing her mother out yesterday. You motherfucking bitch, mother. Her mother take care of her two little kids. They're in the complex. The girl's flossing for somebody. Her mother said, fuck your mother's doing the same thing back and forth. So I see her in the store this morning. I'm going to the store. And she said, hi, you look so pretty. I said, come here, baby. Open door. I just have a conversation. I said, you are such a, and she's beautiful. She looks like a little black butterfly. She's just gorgeous. She's about a size 2. Oh, just gorgeous. And I'm, yo,
Mhm.
but her mother smokes crack, so that's a whole nother thing. But I talked to the girl. I said, please. I said, you're a mother. You want your kids to call you. She said, you know what? She started crying outside.
Mm.
Yes, I felt that. But I'm hungry now. I have to go eat. Jamaica.
Okay. Yes, baby.
Um,
Thank
I'm
you so much. This
I'm
was
honored.
fun.
No. I was gonna
Thank
think of something else
you,
to ask you,
Jamaica.
but I'm honored that you took time. I was trying to think of a couple of questions, but
There was a question in the chat. Sorry to interrupt.
okay. But
So Tanya
I
asked,
want to do I want to do a part 2 with you. I was trying to think of what I want to do, but I want to do a part 2 with you on sexuality, on sexual behaviors in the gay community. I'd like to talk to them a little bit more about the DL
Yeah.
thing going on. Yeah, especially in the church. You know, a kid named King Jives. You know King Jives?
Yes.
Yes, he's been on here. He's going to come back with me. So I'd like to have the two of you together on the show.
Okay. King Jives knows me.
Okay.
Jive. What was Tanya's question?
Tanya's question was, does Jamaica have any living relatives?
No. I'm sorry. I have a half sister that I do not speak to. And she has kids. She has 5 kids, and of course they got kids. So they know that they have an uncle. But I have not seen them.
Thank you for that.
What are your days like now? Just very busy on the phone, on the computer.
On the phone, computer, fax, reading contracts. This is not gonna work. Yes, this will work.
Are you
You know,
traveling?
yes.
Where are you going to be soon?
Jacksonville, Florida for this comedy tour, and then I'll be in Charleston, South Carolina with Tabitha Brown, the Black Expo. I will be with Viola Davis at this Mother's Day brunch next month with Felicia Rashad. It's Viola Davis, Felicia Rashad, Lynn Whitfield, and some other people.
Is that open to the public?
Some of it is, some of it is not. If it's not open to the public, just feel free to inbox me.
Word.
And you don't have to pay for nothing. I get passes and tickets and the best seat in the house.
Thank you.
I'll start keeping Gina posted on what I'm doing and where I'm moving and what I'm doing, so she can,
Thank you for that.
My love also extends to her followers.
We appreciate that.
You're on mute, I believe, sis.
I have a couple of requests. One is, do you know Stevie Wonder?
I do not. I have met him one time.
Okay.
But I don't know
That's
him.
one request. The other request is that you pray for me, my mother, my family. I believe that you pray. I believe you can get a prayer through. People sometimes have this perception of certain personalities that there's a minimal amount of spirituality. When you said you cheated death 5 times, I believe that you went through that so you can show people what 5 times in the death fight looks like. And
you know what? The reason why I know prayer works and prayer is so powerful, and I don't know where it came from, is because I have been so sick dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight. I forgot to pray for myself. I would go to bed angry as fuck that I'm going through this situation and this goddamn appointment I got to get up for in the morning. And I was never mean to nurses or nothing like that, but I was angry. I came through it because other people saw it. They saw it. They saw it and prayed for me. And their prayers pulled me out. It wasn't mine. I forgot to pray. I don't think I ever got on my actual hands and knees. I'll lay in the bed and look up at the sky and say, Lord, thank you. This is a wonderful day. I am so glad you were able to bless me to be able to go to so-and-so's event, and I have a couple of flashbacks and I take my Xanax and go to sleep. But when I'm sick, I turn into the biggest fucking baby in the world. And I forget to pray for myself. Other people that pray for me, their prayers are powerful.
The one thing I've listened to you continually talked about your adversarial, cantankerous relationship with God, how you battle, curse back and forth. That is a passionate relationship. When you can argue and make up with somebody, that's love. Or she just say, fuck you, God. But when you can say, motherfucker, why is this shit happening to me? Nigga, where you at?
Yeah.
That's a relationship that cannot be destroyed by any external things, anything happening on the outside. Because you have to argue with somebody that's close to you. When you're in somebody's space.
Auntie Gina, one day I had took one of Flame's gummies, and I swear to God, I was in this house. I had triple pneumonia, and it was septic. And I was on my way to the hospital, and I had ate me a gummy. And I told God, I said, at some point between tonight and tomorrow, I need for you to come to me as a ghost. Don't scare me. Do not scare me. But I need you to appear, because, nigga, I need some answers. Mm-hmm. You could be in the form of a white woman, or you can be Brenda from finance, or Tiffany from payroll. I don't give a fuck how you appear, but send a bitch down here to tell me what your plan is, so I can go according to your plan. Ain't that what you want? Come on, nigga.
Yep. I don't care how you get here. Get here if you can.
Alita.
There are hills and mountains between us. Yo, son. What? No, thank you for the sermon, visiting preacher. What'd you say?
Marium. I forgot her last name.
Marium Echo.
You know what song I would love for her to sing, and it would be in her range, and you're gonna say you agree? It's one of my favorites. Don't let the sun go down on me.
By who?
You ain't never heard that?
By who?
Alita Adams has sung it. Elton John and George Michael.
I've heard it. Gina, you've heard it. Once you hear it, you'll recognize.
Okay, I can't sing, but it goes, don't let the sun go down on me.
Is it a pop tune, a pop song?
No, it's a ballad. It's a really touching ballad.
Okay. Anyway.
I'm a inbox it to you, Gina.
Okay. Before we go, one word about how you feel right now, and can I get a commitment for you to come back for another show, like a part 2 with you?
You have my commitment.
Okay. What would you like to say to anybody about anything right now before we go home?
I want everybody to have a blessed day, a quiet day, and a peaceful day, and demand your peace. Take your stance and stand in it. Draw your circle around it, and don't let nobody in your circle. At some point, at some point, take a minute for yourself. I don't care if you're married and you do it in the bathroom, and put your back up against the wall and breathe. Take a minute for yourself.
Now it's time. Yes, you talking to me?
No, I say they thank you. Jamaica, they thank you. Marcus, thank you. And Quan was asking about the Jacksonville. She was asking, was it a comedy show?
Yes, it is. Hit me on my inbox, Quan, and I'll give you the details. Because Stink is going.
There you go, Quan. All right, Gina, it's on you.
Now
Jamaica,
it's time
thank
to
you
say
for your
goodbye.
time. I'm sorry, Gina. Oh, really quick. I just wanted to thank you for being here and your time you and I have something in common. I'm adopted as well. And I just love you for you. I only recently started following you. So just thank you for being on this planet and spending time with us today.
You are more than welcome, sweetheart. Thank you, guys.
For sure. Thank you.
Okay.
Now it's
Bye-bye.
time
Beautiful.
to say goodbye to all our company. Gina motherfucking Fletcher, John Logic, Anissa Raimi. Thank you guys. Whatever you eat today, if it's not pussy, let it be something inspirational. I'll see you later.
Thank you, everyone.
Sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks are laughable, unphotographable, yeah. Yet you're my favorite word of art. Is your figure less than green? Is your mouth a little bit weak? When you open it to speak, oh, are you smart? Are you smart? Don't change your hair for me. Nah, 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 nah. Not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine. Stay. Each day is Valentine's Day. Let it breathe, praise your man. Yo, make some noise like Jermaine on bass. Come on, Darius, give me a little bit. Y'all make some noise for Darius, y'all. My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks all over, unfold. Don't change your hair for me. Not if you care for me. Stay a little bit of time. Each day is Valentine's. Oh, each day is Valentine's. Each day is Valentine's. No, 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 no. Each day, each day, each day, each day, each day. Each day is Valentine's. Oh, bring it down just a little, bring it down just a little. I like it. I'm not trying to pressure you. Just can't stop thinking about you. You ain't even really gotta be my boyfriend. I just wanna know your name, and maybe sometime we can hook up, we can hang out, or just chill, chill. Well, I know this might seem strange, but let me know if I'm out of order or something this way. See, I've been watching you for a while. I just gotta let you know that I'm really digging your style. Said I had to know your name and leave you with my number, and I hope that you will call me someday. If you want, you can give me your soon. If you don't, then I ain't mad at you. We can still be cool. I'm not trying to pressure you. Just can't stop thinking about you. You ain't even really gotta be my boyfriend. I just wanna know your name, and maybe sometime we can hook up, hang out, just chill. Man, I'm surprised that you called. From the way you walked away, I thought I wasn't gonna see you no more. Since you didn't wanna give me your bed, I thought that you were licking me and wasn't feeling me. But anyway, what you doing tonight? I'll probably be with my beef. If it's cool with you, maybe we'll swing by and you can just chill with us, or you can just chill with me. Long as you're comfortable and you feel secure when you're with me. I'm not trying to pressure you. Just can't stop thinking about you. You ain't even really gotta be my boyfriend. I just wanna know your name, and maybe sometime we can hook up, hang out, just chill. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh. Oh, oh.